good stretch, got my laces tied. My trusty podcast by my side. If you wanna talk fun, it's the place to be. Yeah, it's the drop, D-R-O-P.
Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And you're listening to The Drop, our weekly podcast. And this week, a special one recapping Miami Marathon and, of course, some more nonsense.
Yeah, in our case, the half marathon.
Do you know as much?
Thank goodness.
The half, but it felt like a full.
Oof. The people doing the full, they should have called it the Fool.
Yeah.
The Fool Marathon. Because it was way too hot to be running. And you can tell it in the times.
Yeah. I love how everyone there, too, is like that lives there. We're like, oh, yeah, this race is awful.
Yeah, the
like
Shakeout run we did, everyone who was local was like, oh, no, I would never do the full. That's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking,
yeah.
I wanted to bring up one other thing, though. I kind of feel, and this is hubris, but I feel like we coined the term super trainers.
Okay.
And
yeah,
now,
I feel like
I'm starting to see everybody on Instagram or anytime somebody's doing something like that, we do. They're like, "Hi, this is so and so from or with so and so."
You think so?
Yeah.
Dude, that's always been a thing.
No, it hasn't.
You can't say you're so and so and not from something.
Yeah, you can. You can just be like, "Hi, I'm Robbie.
Yeah.
I'm going to review this shoe." Or
Connor from Running Warehouse.
Yeah.
Calling him out. So,
yeah, Connor.
Definitely Connor.
Also noticed he's growing his hair out.
just because he has nice hair, he thinks he can do anything.
He pretty much can, though.
Yeah.
Hey, except for I don't think he's run a marathon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No.
So he may not be able to do everything.
Ooh.
We'll have to see. He's definitely. Hey, Connor, you should run the Miami Marathon full.
Yeah.
That should be your first.
Yeah, totally.
First and last.
Which, speaking of Running Warehouse, they did a taste test. We had a taste test with them.
I saw that.
When we were out there last summer that they're just putting out now.
I said to Megan, that was like a year ago.
Yeah. It was like where we blind taste tested gels. And I was really bad at that game.
I was really good.
You were exceptionally good.
I think if they put up me against everybody else who they did it with,
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have won a prize.
Yeah, I think so. But unfortunately,
What a talent, you know? Is that going on the resume?
No. Thanks for the sarcasm, Meg.
yeah, good taste buds.
I finally have a talent that I could beat you in, and you got to put it down.
What is the best tasting gel or
best taste.
nutrition?
I mean, if I'm going to go just on taste, I'm going Untapped.
Yeah, that is pretty good. Just the regular maple syrup or the coffee one?
I think you could use any of them. Like, you could put that on top of vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
And it would be like having,
Yeah.
Like,
I've
I can't
done
name another energy gel that you could put on vanilla ice cream and be like, that's delicious.
I don't know if you put a goo in a microwave like on high,
That's got to be deadly.
you might have to take it out of the packet.
Yeah.
I feel like if you got it in a real liquidy state of the espresso one, it could be
I would agree that one
could
might
be
be able
okay.
to work.
Could pass.
You could take maybe boil some water and just take a strainer real quick, dip it in with the packet in it, just let it heat up and then pop. And then
Yeah, microplastics for days. Yeah. But you think that's the only? What's the? Perfect chance to pop our sponsor. LMNT would be a great one.
Ooh,
It's a good taste. I'm saying it.
Putting it on ice cream?
No. I was saying it tastes good.
Oh.
oh yeah, but I'm saying
That's not a.
I
that's
think
just electrolytes.
I
That's
was just saying taste.
I think it's an acquired taste. I was telling Meg that like now I'm kind of addicted to it, but I remember the first time I took it, I was like, I don't know.
I mean, I guess it's not nutrition, but I just think I'm like lumping them all into the same.
I do think if you sprinkled it on vanilla ice cream, it'd be a unique kind of sensation. The salty,
Oh yeah.
like creamy.
Salty sweet.
Oh, dude, if you put those on Wendy's French fries, then dip that in a Frosty.
What flavor are you putting on the fries?
Good question. Whoa, the chocolate medley.
Yeah.
On fries?
Yeah,
Well, if you're dipping them in
in a Frosty.
Frosty.
I mean, tell me
Wow.
that's not an okay idea.
You test it.
I know someone who used to do like the coffee crystals, like the dehydrated coffee.
Oh, yeah.
They used to sprinkle that on their ice cream
That's a pretty good one.
because it gives you the crunchies and the coffee and stuff.
Man, now I'm like dreaming of someone to invent a crunchy style one.
I you know what else was sweet that I really enjoyed?
What?
Simmy's cookies
Oh yeah,
from Michelle.
there was a.
Those were good. Did you get into yours yet?
I have, yeah. Ate up some of the s'mores, and actually, I think I sampled all of them except for the sprinkle one.
Okay, so when we were at our shakeout, and we'll get to all that, but we had one of our friends bring down. I guess she has a bakery. She was saying,
Yeah, in
Simmy's.
Parkland, Florida.
yeah, Simmy's, and she brought these cookies. Do they qualify as cookies to you?
I don't know if it was between a cookie and a cake. I know that.
It's the size of a cake, feels like, but it's a cookie texture.
Are they? Is that what a crumble cookie is? Like I don't know. I never had a crumble cookie,
I
but
don't know what a crumble cookie is.
it's like this. It was like this big deal cookie in New York City, but
I feel like they did this with the donuts. Like you got those crazy donuts.
Yes.
And this is like the cookie version of those.
It has like toppings and
Yeah.
stuff.
well, my favorite one of the ones that she sent was a s'mores one, and I don't like s'mores, which you would have found out if you watched the taste test for.
I also assumed that would be my least favorite one, but the cookie part of it, I don't know what was in there, but it was really good. Like I didn't need the marshmallows on top.
But I like it had also like a meringue crunch on it that was
Yeah.
good. So
Anyways,
thank
yeah,
you, Michelle.
We'll put link in the description if you, want to check it
They,
out.
she does deliver, but I think it's only in Florida.
Okay,
But if you're in Florida,
Get these cookies.
yeah, go get them.
it's good stuff. Meg, you didn't say your favorite nutrition flavor though.
I can't do any of them. They're all disgusting.
So
That's
Morton
why
would be your-
yeah,
I mean,
clear flavor.
I don't mind. It's not like I'm going to eat them as a dessert, but I do like some of the goose.
No, like those are absolutely disgusting.
Really.
I didn't think I liked goose, but this weekend when we were running the Miami half, I get the Expo. It's like one of the easiest ones to get.
Yeah.
Like-
which one did you get?
I got the chocolate espresso.
Yeah, good, solid.
I think maybe just a chocolate coconut, which was really
Also
good.
good. That's another go-to.
One,
Wait, so you don't want the same flavor for the whole race?
No, you switch it up. You get have a little buffet.
That's one of my problems with Morton. It's like again.
Yeah, it's like thank goodness it's just like
Another one.
this boring, consistent.
Speaking of Miami, DJ Khaled over there.
So I think I did the same thing. Espresso, chocolate coconut, the pineapple Roctane is one of my faves. I like the pineapple.
I went lemon salted lime or something like that.
Okay, good one too. Salted watermelon? No.
No, salted lime.
salted.
Do you pick out the flavors before you head into the race? Like you're like, this will be better for when I'm really hot at mile 10.
Not really, no.
Okay.
But that's an
Just
interesting
roll the
theory.
dice.
I was surprised how much I enjoyed the chocolate coconut.
I'm surprised you enjoyed anything mid-race.
Yeah.
No, I took that one before the race
Oh,
started.
that explains it.
Yeah.
One time when I was on a long run, a stroller run with my kid. It was like a 10-mile run.
It would have been weird if it was a stroller run without the
Yeah,
kid.
with Thomas in his baby bonnet and diaper.
Dude, that would be challenging.
It was a whole thing. But I didn't have any snacks with because I forgot them, and I just gave him a goo to
I think I remember this.
satiate him.
And it worked?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was a birthday cake one.
Smart.
I mean,
little confetti at
it's
him.
straight sugar. Kids
Yeah.
don't like that.
It's going straight to
All
the
right,
veins.
let's rewind here a little bit and get Megan. I keep doing your job. Let's go to the beginning of the weekend here and traveling down to Miami.
Yeah, it was very fun. So we landed Friday and we had a little bit of time. I went for a quick run along what was it called? That bridge we came back on?
Brooklyn Bridge,
That's not it.
Venetian Bridge.
Venetian Bridge, which was lovely. It was like noon, so it was 80 degrees and sunny, and I was like, this is what we're getting ready for on Sunday. But anyway, we went off and met the Hoka team and met them on a yacht,
Yeah, it was actually a yacht too.
not just a fake boat.
Yeah, not a paper mache one. Yeah, that was and that was for the podcast, for a drop podcast.
Yeah, and when we chatted to the team earlier, they never mentioned that we would actually be taking the boat out. I thought it was just going to be docked, and it would be like our space for the shakeout run and for
Right.
the podcast recording. And then when we got there on Friday evening, they were like, "Oh no, we've got this boat for a few hours. We can go take it out."
Yeah, it had a captain everything. Captain Crunch, I think is what
Robbie hooked up his Tame Impala playlist to the sound system.
It was vibing.
Yeah.
It was. I really enjoyed that little harbor area, but I didn't realize they had. If you've ever been to Chicago and you know the river that's like goes through the city, I felt like when we were on the boat, it was very similar to that. Once we got past the
like the
container ship,
like
area.
the shipping channel or whatever. Yeah, it was cool because I didn't realize they had that going between. What side is it? Was that just Miami?
I guess it would be the south side of Miami because
Miami City, because it's not South
we're in
Beach.
South Beach when we took off, so that's the south part of Miami proper. I don't know. What did you think of the city? That was the first time I really actually spent time in Miami.
Yeah, I'd only been there one other time, I think, or maybe twice. But it's cool. I mean, I feel inferior as a human there. I look at myself in the mirror and think you're a piece of trash compared to these people.
Well, I was explaining
Wow.
that. I was having a conversation with my kids today.
Exaggeration, but
I was saying that the people do look great, and I think what it is, it's kind of like, like when you started running with the Faster Passage, you were like, okay, this is now your level.
yeah.
And I think that when you're living in Florida, you're not wearing as much clothes, so you got to work out, you got to stay fit.
Yeah, they're not a huge fan of clothes down there. Sports bras and no shirts for dudes is the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it ratchets you up, so you can't just be walking around with like dad bod. You got to be going to the gym.
True. Yeah.
So I feel like it takes everybody up and just raises the fitness level of everybody there because you're going to be half dressed all the time.
Yeah.
And it's always good weather for working out and being outside.
I mean, it was February and it was 80. That's crazy.
They did say it was in the 50s last week.
Yeah, but
that
that
was
was
the
that
lows.
freezing cold. It also
Yeah.
snowed in Jacksonville.
Right. But I'm
They-
just saying, sometimes, every once in a while.
You have to put your shirt back on.
The locals were saying that they were like putting on sweatshirts and stuff and they're complaining it was cold in the 50s.
Okay.
And I was like, wow.
I actually love it when you go someplace that's normally warm and it like gets to the 50s and they're like in their
People are
down
in
jackets.
parkas, yeah.
Looks like they're in a like snow apocalypse.
Oh, yeah. That's great. But, I mean, I feel like I saw people wearing long sleeves.
Oh, there's
and
tons
pants,
of people-
like, tights at the race.
Okay, it
Yeah.
was so hot during the race. We'll get to that. But yeah, you were 100% right. I kept looking around seeing like women in full tights and long sleeves and stuff.
Especially at the start, which was a whopping 65 degrees.
It was, I think it
70.
was warmer than that. It was 70.
At the start?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My Athlinks results say 77 degrees.
Yeah.
I remember that when I did a half marathon in Carlsbad, California before, it was the same situation. There's like a woman wearing like ear warmers. I was like, it's so warm right now.
Well, Meg's dad used to come up from Florida and it would be like 70 degrees here and he'd be freezing his ass off.
Yeah.
He'd be like, it's so cold.
Wow.
Meanwhile, our brother's turning down the thermostat to like 61 in the house,
Yeah.
freezing him out.
Yeah. And they just had gym equipment like on the beach, right?
Instead of playgrounds, it was just like
Like adult
gymnasiums.
playgrounds.
Yeah.
Adult playground sounds like
Yeah.
someplace where Carl would go.
Oh, there was plenty of places like that down in Miami. Remember Sex and Smoke?
Oh yeah, was that what it's called?
Yeah.
I do like I'm always like what are people doing for jobs down here because it just seems like most of the day is spent working out.
Yeah, I don't know. They're probably looking at us thinking the same thing.
True.
What, that we're working out all the time?
No.
I
I don't think they're thinking of that.
What do they do for jobs? Meg's running at noon across the
Yeah.
Venetia Bridge.
And everyone else is too. And I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, maybe that's a lunch break. I don't know.
Yeah. But so then we did the podcast on that
Beautiful evening.
beautiful evening for the podcast.
Were you shocked by the size of the Virgin boat?
Yes.
You're talking about the cruise ship?
Yeah.
Seeing a cruise ship up close is very large.
It's like seeing a skyscraper in New York on its side.
Yeah. It's literally like a small town.
Did it make you less want to go on a cruise or more want to go on a cruise?
Less.
Yeah, same. I was like, all those people are stuck in there. They can't go anywhere.
Yeah. Although I did have that idea for the Believe in the Run cruise.
Yeah, you did.
Which sounds cool in theory until you realize you're trapped there.
With
Which,
everybody.
depending on who's signing up for this cruise, could get a little sketchy.
lot of pineapples on doors.
But I still think we could do it. Yeah, yeah. Carl's going full citrus on that thing.
Okay, if we were on the Love
Sorry,
Boat,
Carl.
do you guys remember the Love Boat?
What's the love boat?
I remember it was a show,
Yeah,
right?
I think Carl would have been a good bartender on the Love Boat.
Oh man, I saw a house today. It's right up the alley around the corner, and it's one of those houses that believes in all the things. It's like in this house, and they have everything outside.
Like, believes in all the things. You
Yeah.
mean, we believe in equal rights. We believe in
Yeah, it's like the list is like a dictionary long, but and they have stuff like all over their house. They had a pineapple on the front door. I was like, I know what's happening here. Yeah.
they believe in a lot of stuff.
It was pretty conspicuous. So,
For those of you who don't know the urban legend of the idea behind a pineapple, I think is it supposed to be upside down pineapple or
Yeah.
regular? Okay, an upside down pineapple.
oh, this one was like 45 degrees, so I don't know what that means.
45 degrees. We swing sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you like turn it.
Spin it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, no.
It's like a
It's on a clock.
yeah.
It's like a Scooby-Doo sign when you get lost on the way to the haunted mansion. Someone turns it and you go the wrong way. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, wow.
Anyways,
Anyway,
speaking
back
of getting
in-
lost.
Back in Miami,
Big boat.
Saturday morning, we hosted our shakeout run with everyone. We started the run at 10 a.m., so we waited till it was like really nice and warm to go jog some miles along the beach.
Which I think was actually key
Why is that?
because the race was even hotter.
Yeah. The crazy thing about running in Miami is even if you get out the door at 6 a.m. like we did on Sunday, the humidity is so high at that point
What was the
that
humidity?
it's almost worse.
It was like 95%.
It was 95% humidity and a 69 dew point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. But oh yeah, that's the crazy thing. In Florida, is just walking into a wall. Like
Yeah.
it feels like an actual surface that you're walking into.
When we were leaving to go to the shakeout and the sliding doors open from the hotel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. What Robbie's describing, the wall.
Yeah, you feel it.
But you also see it
taste
before
it.
you. The windows
Chewy.
were all fogged up. Like when we walked down into the.
You just take element, splash it in the air.
Yeah, and just
solidifies.
pull one of those jumbo Dunkin' Donuts straws out, and you can just get hydration that way.
It's snorkeling.
Yeah. I wish we would have been able to snorkel there, but I did look up snorkeling tours, but I don't think you have to go more towards the Keys, I think.
I think we needed like one more day to do some fun adventure like that. Maybe next time.
I saw a tracksmith that was taking people on gator tours.
I did. They were up in North Beach.
North Beach, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, gator tour or yacht through the harbor like we did. I don't know. I think I'll take the yacht.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of gators before, so that's not like anything new to me. I don't get to ride on a yacht too often.
Also, we saw the giant tarpon in the.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, I did.
What?
When did you see a tarpon?
It looked like a
They
shark.
were all over the dock.
Like, you know where we saw like pretty little fish?
Yeah.
Tarpon were just out a little further. And
Definitely
then we saw
didn't see that.
we saw a dolphin on the yacht.
Saw that. I did see a family of manatees, which was cool, but not
How do you know they're a family?
because there's a baby, unless they kidnapped it.
It's
Which is
Florida.
possible. Yeah. I will say, people always get in trouble for touching a manatee or whatever, but it's like, dude,
You
come
gotta
on.
touch it.
If you see if you're in the water and a manatee's 2 feet away from you, you're just
Why aren't you supposed to touch
no
it?
touching rules.
They're wild animals.
Yeah,
It's
but
like not touching a dolphin.
dude, any human who sees a manatee,
Wait, when are you touching
oh,
dolphins?
you gotta touch a dolphin. if you see
Yeah,
a dolphin.
absolutely. If it's coming up to the boat, you're gonna touch it.
Have you ever had a dolphin that close?
Yeah.
Have you touched?
I used to go to Florida every
No,
year.
you went to a place that was for touching dolphins.
No, I did not.
What? You've touched a dolphin in the wild?
Yeah.
What?
I'll
There's-
get photos. I'll prove it to you.
Where?
In Captiva, Florida. We used to go every year.
Wait, so they're captive? It's named after keeping them in captivity?
No, it's an island.
Really? Petting dolphins in Captiva. I'm gonna Google that. Are you serious? Just like they're hanging out.
One would always come up to the boat on this one trip.
So you knew him?
I mean, we called him Flipper for sure.
All right.
Okay.
Robbie's going for it.
Fact checking over here, realizing I'm correct.
I like it.
Anyway, we didn't pet any dolphins on this trip. And we did also what I think was maybe cooler than seeing alligators was riding around in a jet car boat thing that was wrapped like a Hoka shoe.
Look, before we can get to that, though, everybody who came out, just, man, it was awesome. Thank you for showing up. It's a little bit different in Florida, like, because there is such a diversity in language and everything like that. Like, the biggest group that came out to run the marathon was actually, it was U.S. first and then Colombia. But we had, like, a really cool vibe for the Shakeout. We went out and we did a 3 mile just out and back along the beach.
Which I mistakenly was told to lead, and then I was talking, and then I looked down at my watch, and it was like 1.72, and I was like, oh.
Oh, you pulled a Robbie, huh?
Yeah,
We were supposed to turn around, guys.
But I'm going to say, Robbie, have you ever been like running, especially in 80-degree heat, and been like, oh, I just ran too far?
I almost did the same thing, actually. Yeah.
And it's not like anyone in the group said anything. We were all just chatting.
But yeah, I have for sure. I only noticed because there's a round, like a turn that people were coming around. I actually had gone past and then I was like, wait, did I just see people turning around? Because I was talking to someone.
Yeah.
So I was very close to doing the same thing.
See? Happens.
Yeah. So we ran back, and about a half mile from the boat, we stopped and took another picture because there was like this pier. And I guess you missed that.
South Beach Pier.
I didn't know it was. I was like, are people stopping here? Is this, anyways?
So we did, and Megan did too.
I happened to be right behind you at that point,
Okay.
so
Oh yeah,
that's why I figured it out. Otherwise, I would have ran by it too.
I gotcha.
All right, first check-in. Man, running races is fun. Sign up for one. Go do it. Just enjoy it. Doesn't matter the distance. You'll have a good time. So get that checkbook out. Or do people use checkbooks? I don't know. Credit card, something. All right, get it out. Sign up. Have some fun. All right, Meg, the heat is back. It's time for Element Summertime Edition or Spring Summertime Edition. I've been using the winter, but now I'm transitioning back into
the straight Element packets.
with, you know how I like it.
Yes. So if you're not familiar, Element is an electrolyte beverage. They come in very easy to mix little packages, have all the electrolytes you need, plenty of sodium to keep you hydrated. It helps with maintaining steady energy. It improves your cognitive function. You get less headaches, Robbie.
Oh yeah, I took 2 of those. I took like 2 or 3 of those after the Miami Marathon in the heat.
Whoa, 2 or 3?
It brought me right back to life.
Okay.
Took my headache straight
The
right away.
cognitive functioning, I'm not sure it's working on me, but the rest is with the magnesium and everything. Regular water is boring after drinking this. I told Meg the other day I was making it, and I was like, I'm kind of addicted.
Yeah, and I love it for before the race as well as Robbie used it afterwards, but it also helps with muscle cramps and just keeping you overall hydrated and ready to go. So if you guys haven't tried it yet, you definitely need to. And if you just want to get a test of it, you can go to drinkelement.com/thedrop, and then you can get an 8-count free sample pack.
So we finished up the run, but it was great. Everybody tried out the new Bondi. I feel like people were enjoying it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a comfort cruiser. How can you not like it? I know some people are all like, I don't want the snack, Robbie.
Yeah, it is all right. I mean, it's fine. Like, it's not a bad shoe.
So after that, we had everybody go back to the boat, back to the yacht. And on the yacht were the custom singlets that some people grabbed. We had Gooder sunglasses. Thank you, Gooder, for providing sunglasses for everyone. There was some Hoka swag. I think there was like a mug. And
You got to choose like one Hoka item. It's kind
Yeah.
of like Price is Right, but it wasn't anything like Price is Right.
yeah, because you couldn't win a donkey.
Yeah.
It was like pretty much everything was.
Yeah, that was a bad analogy. I'm sorry about that.
And then what Megan was talking about, we actually had a water car or jet car. I don't know what you call it.
A jet car. It's jetcarmiami.com, I think was their website. But it basically looks like a car on the water. And I assumed that maybe most of these people that were on boats down there had seen these before, but people were videoing us and taking photos of us.
Yeah, it looked
and
like
telling
James
us
Bond.
They loved our boat, and so obviously we pretended it was ours.
It was wrapped in Hoka.
Yeah.
And so it was supposed to match the Cielo X1 2.0. So they had it completely wrapped, and it looked kind of like James Bondy, like you're in the water, just driving around. But we got some cool footage of that. Carl was out there with the drone, getting some aerials.
Yeah, the drone footage is my favorite.
Yeah.
I also, we met someone who lived, or I'm not sure if he lives there, but he owns
He was definitely
a yacht on the pier that
Did
we
you
were
do this
staying
when you
at.
said yacht? Did you do finger quotes?
I didn't.
It looked
But
like a Winnebago.
His name was Rick Sykes. If anyone wants to know,
He's very famous.
he's very
What's
famous.
he famous for?
He was on the show Marrying Millions.
I haven't seen this show. What is Marrying Millions?
It's basically
Young
people
women.
marrying other people for money.
Like they're
Sounds-
not being bashful about it. They're like, the man has to be worth over a certain amount of millions. I think it had to be like 3 million, right?
I have no idea.
Okay, and it was on Lifetime.
Yeah.
Quality television.
And the woman's basically like, yeah, I'm not going to play.
Is that
I
him?
want a rich dude.
No.
Oh, that's another guy?
Yeah.
Sorry.
But anyway, we were joking because Alex from Hoka was like, the only thing we were missing was like a celebrity to be on our yacht. And then Rick walked right into our conversation without stopping a beat and was like, I'm famous. And then proceeded to tell us why he was famous.
So you were walking past his yacht and he was on the dock, or he was?
he was on the dock.
Okay.
And he heard us saying we needed a celebrity, and he walked right into us and said, I am famous.
He was kind of scoping the situation for a while. I think he was interested in what's this activity that's bringing all
for
these people
sure.
to the dock.
And he had a cute little dog. But yeah, he was very much an interesting character. And he has a new book coming out that I'm not allowed to talk about, and a new TV show coming out that I'm also not allowed to talk about.
Oh, no. Yeah, embargo on the book and TV show?
Yeah.
Shoot. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's more secret than Kira D'Amato's book. But didn't he was very respectful to you when he was talking to you.
Look, I was okay with it. He's an older guy who, was very fond of himself.
So when did you already apply or no for the next?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the hot models on a
I
yacht.
feel like you could have got a shoe in by just saying, like, by means of knowing him.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it.
I think if any woman said, "Hey, I'll come on your yacht," she's in.
Yeah.
I went back and watched because I could not after I spent so much time with him on the dock. His episode where he proposes to this girl on Marrying Millions.
Okay.
And apparently he didn't ask her dad permission.
Okay.
And then it was like a whole thing.
Because
and it
her
blew
dad
up.
was 20 years younger than him.
he basically said, I'm a grown man. I'm not going to ask your father. But it's probably because he was like 20 years younger.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a weird situation. Like, if
Well-
you're older than the father and being like, "Hey, you care if I ruin
Yeah.
your daughter's life?"
And not to say there's an age difference. it's nothing wrong with that. But there's more of an age difference, right?
Yeah.
I think it was
She's
like
40
closer to
years?
40. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like when we're talking 60 and 21, there might be a little bit of maybe a little bit.
Generations
Yeah.
in between.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something's lost in
Do you think-
translation.
Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Wait till you get there, Robbie, and you tell us.
All right. Dude, if I get there, there's no way of starting over in that way. I'll be good.
Okay, so after our shakeout, we went to the expo for a little bit. The expo was nice. It was like really well organized. I felt like you could get in and out of there.
I did think they missed an opportunity, though.
What's that?
Like, if you go to the New York City Marathon, there is no way you get funneled through New Balance
Yeah.
to get to anything else. Like, you get your bib, and if you want to pick up the rest of your stuff, you get funneled in. And I felt the same way about Berlin. You go through the Adidas. I felt like at the Miami, you should have been forced to go through the Hoka experience.
Yeah.
They had a fly lab there and everything. And I think it was towards the back of the.
But they're not the official race sponsor, though, right? They're just because Free People, FP
Well,
movement.
there's a bank that does both. Well, TCS, New York City Marathon.
But But Free People's like the title sponsor.
Yeah, but so is like TCS is a sponsor of the New York City Marathon, and so is for Berlin. It was a bank. It might have been Deutsche Bank. I don't remember what.
Well, actually,
RBC.
Yeah. Okay.
That was it. RBC was the sponsor.
I guess you're right. You don't have to walk through a bank. Imagine walking through a bank vault once you get there.
No, it would be the best if they're like sign up for checking.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Bank of America tries to pull that with all the medal
With the Boston?
situation.
No doubt.
I did when I was hanging up my Miami marathon medal, which is very nice. We'll get to that. But
yeah.
I put it next to the Boston one. I was like, yeah, that it really is. It looks.
Last year's Boston was maybe the worst medal I've ever seen in my whole life.
It's
Next to the Cape Cod T-shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, it was it looks cheap.
It was just cheap. Yeah.
Well, I know what it is too. It's this one that they can make in the U.S. So
I think it's like eco-friendly too,
yeah,
which, yeah.
Dude, if I get a medal, I'm assuming that's outlasting
Yeah,
the
you
next
want- you
round
don't-
of dinosaurs.
yeah. You don't want the metal to be recyclable.
Yeah.
You want the metal to be. Especially Boston. I can understand. Maybe you want your local 5K medal to be recyclable,
Yeah.
but like your Boston Marathon, you want that thing to be on your tombstone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
You know, it'd be great instead of putting your life, like what year you were born, what year you died, just put your Boston time.
I bet someone had done that.
BQs and the years.
How many times do you run Boston? Who cares about how long you run?
Every sub 3 you've ever run.
I know
just the
some
times.
people who would legitimately probably do that in all seriousness. Know some people.
Would they have a speaker playing music in their
Probably.
tombstone for eternity?
I feel like I saw that on someone's. I saw a tombstone with speaker playing out of it.
Oh, that'd be amazing! Like their top island records,
Yeah.
for eternity.
We need to get a little more creative with tombstones. It's been a while since we've done anything interesting with them.
Do we?
I would
Do
like
we
it.
really?
I would like it if you made a tombstone that my ashes were loaded in it, and every time someone walked by it, like would spray a little bit, like it'd be action.
Yeah.
Action.
Like a party confetti?
more like a
Like perfume?
like there's a little dust cloud comes out.
Okay, all right.
That'd be like motion sensor.
Like it's farting on them?
What I would do is make the text really tiny on the tombstone, so you have to lean in close.
I like that little prank action.
Have a video camera on the top.
And then it's a trap door that falls into your casket.
Yeah. See, I think we could do it.
This is a thing of nightmares.
You've been Newburgered. Yeah.
I mean,
first a little wet spray, then the powder, then the trap door.
These are all ideas. And those are free ideas too.
And-
Imagine if we really brainstormed.
And the best part is, you can grow a tree later. There's like a little seed next to plant a tree.
Yeah, those are all great ideas. And obviously, there's going to be a video camera that documents all
Yeah,
this, right?
live feed. The only problem is I won't be
Live
around
feed.
to enjoy it.
Oh, that is a bummer.
Yeah, it's entertainment for your kids, I guess.
That's the one way to live on, though,
Yeah.
in the hearts of people.
How do we always end up here?
You won't be
We're
forgotten.
in the death situation.
Wow. I mean, it's just life. Death is part of life. You got to embrace it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the circle of life, like that movie.
Oh, gosh.
Scar and
It's all part of the
Simba.
Part of the big
The
dance.
Lion King?
Yeah.
Okay.
Circle of life, babe.
The last, as we talked about, the last very good soundtrack from Disney.
I'm not a big Elton John.
That's just
Like,
yeah, that's weird.
I don't
Lion
know.
King
Dude, I don't even
fan.
think it's debatable that the Lion King's a great soundtrack. I don't think you can debate that.
Yeah, it's not up for debate. So
all right, that's 2-1.
All right.
I'll just go with you guys. It's fantastic.
anyway, back in
Meg,
Miami.
let's listen to it all day.
People.
Okay.
So you didn't know that the My Fair Lady song, the Rain in Spain thing, was from that?
No, but once somebody, I don't even think
Everyone
I've seen My
commented
Fair
on
Lady,
that.
but I do remember it was for enunciation, to teach you to enunciate your words.
All right.
Yeah.
I do like the Sound of Music, though. That was one that we left off the list. I actually like that.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
It's a pretty good plot.
It's
We
a good love story.
Can we? I know we had to finish up the Miami stuff, but I did want to make sure, just put a pin in it, little corporate speak. Circle back to we have to wrap up.
As per
grit.
my last email.
we have to wrap up Winter Grit.
We certainly will. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. But let's get to the race day morning.
Yeah, we did have a really fun lunch at a place called Monty's on the water on Saturday after the Shakeout run.
Has a pool.
Yeah.
I'm a little bummed I didn't get in the pool. That was dumb.
I thought it was interesting. It was just a pool at the restaurant. So it's not even like you just eat and then you go swimming. I don't know. It's a weird vibe.
What would you rate the Monty's food, including the French fries?
That was
Meh.
pretty good.
That tasted like you were paying to sit by the water.
Yes.
Yeah, it was fine.
Like I could almost taste the Cisco truck.
Yeah.
You know, the buns rolled
Not
off.
the thong song.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no. The food distributor.
Yeah.
There was, it could have been a thong song, Miami Beach, though.
We also went to a good pizza place the night after the interview, the day before the Shakeout run. What was that pizza place?
I don't recall. It was a little hole in the wall.
They
Yeah.
were cool. What was that?
Nikki's Pizza.
Nick's Pizza?
Nick's
That sounds all right.
Pizza. So, race morning,
Wait, what time do we have to get up for race morning?
Yeah,
Like
it's
4.
really race evening because that was the time I was going to bed the previous 2 nights before.
I was actually impressed. You did stay out late several nights before that because you came down early to hang out with some friends.
Yeah, where I came away from the casino up a couple $100. That was nice. But yeah, so we stayed up to like 4 a.m. a couple nights, so rolled right into that. Had to wake up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's an interesting little swap there.
And I thought you were going to be up late the night we did the pizza. Because you ended up. hooking
I mean,
up
I
with
like
friends
stayed up to like 1:30,
Oh, geez.
but
I mean, you're in Miami. That's kind of when things happen. Like the parties start at like 10 p.m. People are coming home at 3 or 4 a.m. And that's like when we're getting up for race morning.
yeah. I made the mistake of trying one of those THC CBD drinks.
The night before the race?
No, 2 nights before.
Is it really in those drinks though? Because it's in Florida, you have to have like
Was
a
it
medical
Brez?
license.
Was it? Yeah, it's very weird. So it was Delta 9. That's why.
Okay, well, I don't understand this. Again, break this down for me. Why is Delta 9 okay, and it still gets you high,
I
right?
think it's because it's like synthesized a certain way. Do you know why? Do you know?
But was the drink you had Brez? B-R-E-Z?
No, it was. They have like a ton of. It's called Elevado.
Oh.
It's like you can't even find reviews on it. It was wild too. It was like jalapeno, hibiscus, spicy, passion fruit. It tasted.
That sounds horrible.
It was horrible.
Okay.
But, anyways, so
But you didn't have that the night before the race?
no, that was 2 nights before.
Okay.
But I probably wouldn't do it again because it's a little like, especially I didn't drink the whole thing. I only drank half it, but I never do that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, it's mostly crack.
yeah, I only stick with the hard stuff.
Uppers only.
But it is weird because it's like, how could you just
Poppers.
yeah, poppers and jalapeno poppers for sure. But why? I don't understand. I don't understand because it does the same thing. Like it.
That's my point. It's like why is one legal and one not, and why not just like if we're taking it down to being legal in most places, why not just open the door and just let it be? Because I think it's confusing for consumers, and I don't think it's as regulated as if it was all on the same page.
So it's because it's hemp derived, which is in the farm and plant bill as being, it's like hemp, but then when you can then convert it
So like if you
to regular THC.
I was gonna say if you process it enough, does it just become like you take the chemical, like what it probably is hemp has a weak form of it,
Exactly.
and then you process enough of it,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, and then we did the race morning. Getting back to it.
But by the way, if you ever stop at the Believe in the Run headquarters, we now have a smoke shop next to us that is clearly selling regular weed.
We're basically a one-stop shop at this point.
Race morning?
Yep, we're there. We made it.
Yeah,
4
so we
a.m.
all had 4 a.m. alarms set, and we met in the lobby at 5. Robbie, do you want to tell your epic bathroom story?
Oh yeah, well, I probably should. All right,
Well,
so
you've got 2 stories. Go with the bathroom.
yeah. Okay, so I got.
First of all, I get a knock on my door at 4:45, and it's Robbie, and I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
What?" And he was looking for sunscreen, which is fair because I did tell him I had a whole
Yeah.
case of it.
So instead of saying, "Hey, bring that down to the lobby," and
lose it forever.
Yeah, I got some sunscreen, but as I was planning on coming back up to my room, get the sunscreen, and come back up to my room for one last bathroom break, or the first one. And so as soon as the door closes behind me, I'm like, like card key. So I forgot that. So I was like, that's all right. I have my phone and my gels. I'll just go to the race, whatever. So I went down, got the sunscreen, and then I was like, I'm going to go down to the lobby, go to the bathroom there, take care of business. So I'm sitting in the stall, and why do I have so many of these stories?
You have a lot of stall stories.
Yeah, it's the one at Baltimore Running Festival, someone coming in on me.
The one at Donna.
The one at oh yeah. And then so I'm sitting there, and keep in mind, when I come down to the lobby, there's nobody there. Even though it's race morning, it's empty. And sitting there, and somebody walks past me in a pair of Hoka Cielo X1 2.0s. And keep in mind that until the race weekend, the shoe was not out. And we are the only very few people who had them.
Like Hoka employees didn't have them.
Right. We had to bring our shoes to the event to get pictures of them or whatever. So in my mind, I'm thinking, we're the only people in the world who have these shoes. Forgetting, of course, that it was on sale at the Expo. So somebody walks past, and I'm like, I just give one of those. Like, they don't respond. I'm like, maybe Thomas didn't know it was me. So then I'm like, another Hoka guy, huh? Like that. And the person just kind of walks. I'm like, why isn't Thomas or Carl responding to me? This is like, dude. And so then they don't go into another stall. They were clearly had the intention of going into another stall. And then
he's like, it's one of those bathrooms.
Luckily, I didn't have my phone like on the floor or anything.
I just had relations with another man in Hokas right before you came in.
Yeah. So anyways, they went to use the urinal, and then I heard them just wash their hands and leave, and I was like, okay. Because keep in mind, like I said, lobby was empty. This is exactly the same time that we're meeting, 4:55 in the morning. So I walk out the bathroom, finish up, wash my hands, just so you know. Walk out the bathroom, and Thomas and Megan and Carl, you guys are all sitting in the lobby, like, looked like you had been sitting there or standing there for a while, not like you just left.
Well, and you come out of the bathroom looking like so confused, and I was like, what happened to Robbie? Like
could
why
he
does he
not find
look
the bathroom?
like something terrible just happened?
I'm just like looking at them like, were you?
Meanwhile, we had just pointed out this dude going across. We're like, hey, look, that guy's got the Cielo X1, and he looked distraught. Like head was down. Like he probably did have to go to the bathroom. He's like, not
He
here.
made no eye contact and went straight to the elevator and left.
And I'm like, come out, and I'm like, wait, were you guys just in the bathroom? They're like, no, were they here the whole time? I'm like, wait, so a random guy, I was just yelling, harassing a random guy.
Hoka guy.
in like the bathroom, and I'm like, dude, what? And then
I bet he skipped the race. We never saw those shoes again.
And then you
He probably he's like, screw it, I'll just go to a porta potty.
you
where I
made a
can be
good
left
point that
alone.
I basically ruined this guy's morning.
Yeah.
Like he was probably in the same sharing a room with the other people he was with. Didn't want to take a dump, in his
Or it
own
was like,
room.
oh, here's a hotel. Let me just run in here real quick.
Yeah. And then I ruined his whole race prep. Probably had to stand in line for porta potty. But I mean, and that guy's gonna have this. He's gonna tell a story for the rest of his life.
I don't think so. I
No,
don't think
he's
you
not
tell
Oh,
telling
you
that
don't think he's
story.
gonna tell anyone?
No, he's not telling anyone
Not
that
even
happens.
his wife.
I'm the only one who's shameless enough to tell a
He's
story.
like, I don't know what happened. I've never been hit on.
Unless he
in the
listens to this
bathroom before.
podcast, and then he'll be like,
I mean, those are shiny shoes.
yeah.
Like you wear those around, you better expect to get catcalled in a bathroom every
It
now
does.
and
It
then.
has the
There's
sparkles.
sparkles,
on it.
yeah.
There's some sparkles.
So we
Anyways, so
we meet
sorry,
in the
sorry, dude, if you're listening.
yeah. We start in the lobby. We go down. We start walking. It's about a mile to the start.
Yeah.
Meg, your start is before us. But one thing that we mentioned to Robbie is where we're going. We're starting to walk. We're like, oh yeah, like all lubed up. You got your, everything good to go. Like, and is like nipple guards. He forgot them.
Yeah.
And you asked me a question. You said,
Oh, I was like, I mean, this singlet's pretty tight. I'm going to be all right. Don't you think?
I'm like, no way, man.
I was like, no way. I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm going to be bleeding within 5 miles.
We're going to be sweating.
Yeah.
It's going to be jumping up and down. Second check-in. Now that I got you to sign up for a race, I'll tell you the truth. Sometimes they're not that much fun, but you're going to do it anyway. And the best part is the feeling of accomplishment when you're done and celebrating with other people and hanging out and just enjoying the race day vibes. It's something special. So you should still be happy you signed up.
All right, we have a new sponsor for February, one of our favorite clothing brands in the running space. It is SOAR.
Yeah, what I like about it, it is very tailored. They use really premium material. So like there's a vest that I like for running that is super thin. It's almost like going shirtless. Like if you want lightweight, like fitted running gear, as a matter of fact, I go up a size usually in their stuff, but it is premium.
Yeah, definitely some of the nicest quality gear out there.
Yeah, they have some new collections called the X-Race collection. So that's going to be your like premium race day materials. And if you haven't tried their stuff yet, we have something very exciting. We are going to give away a SOAR race vest and marathon shorts to one lucky listener. So all you have to do is go to their website. We'll include the exact link to enter, but you're just giving them your email address and you're automatically entered to win this custom race vest and marathon shorts.
Look fast, you are fast.
So then I had to go to CVS.
You went to CVS on the walk to the start?
Well, Carl,
We were already in the
dropped
corral.
you off.
Okay.
We went into the corral, and so Carl and I go sit down with like YB.
I was already in the crowd with you when this happened.
And then
Right, you were
exited the
going
corral.
in, and he leaves, but Carl and I decided we'll sit down. You know, what's the point? We got like an hour to start.
Mm-hmm.
So we sit, Robbie goes, and he is gone for a while.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, so... Because it wasn't like a straight shot. You had to walk around a bunch of other entrances.
I'm surprised it was
barriers.
open too.
Yeah, what's crazy is when I walked in too, is that nobody was in line. There was like...
It's 4 a.m. Weird.
No, but it was right... It's right next to
The race is about to start. Weird, no one's in here shopping.
No, but then...
Just one other guy
No,
there. I
but-
was like, hey, nice shoes.
No, but here's the thing. Right after that, it was packed. It was
Oh.
like 50 people in line.
Well, he timed it well.
Because everybody shows up that race like super late. It's like
Yeah.
everybody's showing up 5 minutes before the corrals close. Or I guess they don't close. But so got my nipple tape, put that on right in the store. Probably freaked some people out. But then there's all runners. Then, you
Yeah,
know.
they're fine with it.
And then I had to take a piss, so I just went. There's like some random railroad tracks kind of near us.
They probably weren't random. They were probably there for a while.
No, I think they were just put there by the simulation. And then so I pulled off into the wooded area, started taking a piss, and someone sees something moving in the bushes, like 10 feet, like no joke, like 10 feet away from me. Someone was like a homeless person was sleeping there.
Oh,
Could have been a
jeez.
gator.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
It was like, why are you pissing in my house?
Yeah, I was like, at that point, you can't stop. So I think it's all fine or whatever. And then finally we got to the race corral.
Right there. And Meg, we're watching, so we're hearing first off, we heard Ted Metalis was there.
I know. I heard that
I was
announcement.
like, how
and I
did
was
we
like,
not?
where's Ted?
We didn't get to see him at all. But we start to hear the corrals going. And I didn't realize you were like, there's no chance for you to get an A. A was only elite.
Yeah, they had their own start, so they went off at 6, like on flat, 6 a.m., and then we waited, I think, 2 or 3 minutes, and then they let the B, C, D corrals go.
So you're in the first amateur wave.
Yes. And
It took us about I would say 22 minutes to half an hour.
oh, see, I could see the start. Like I was pretty much right there. But what was crazy is because I wasn't like racing this one, I didn't get up to the front. Like I was like, I'll just be fine in the back of this first corral. And I always forget that everyone wants to be in the front no matter what their pace is, which is crazy. And so the first like half of a mile, it was like a 7:30 pace. And that's like the front of the
That's
of the
the
race.
top people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had a similar experience, but
Wow.
something different because you at least didn't have as many people trying to start. You had people probably that were in the wrong corral.
They
for
also
their
use that
pace.
corral for media, and I think there was like some charity runners and that kind of thing. So,
But I will bet you most people like you who are like, it's 75 degrees right now.
Yeah.
I'm not
Sprinting out of
today.
here, yeah.
So we could see you guys go. It's going to take about, I guess it was like a half an hour after you left. Robbie and Carl and I had met this guy Fabi who was there at the Shakeout run. Had got one of the singlets. He's going to run with us. His PR was 2:08, so it was like he's getting ready. He's trying to do his first marathon. Wants to go sub 4, whatever. So we decided we start off. We start going walking in the crowd, and I didn't realize how big this marathon is because it took a while for us to
18,000 runners.
just to get up to the start.
Our corral alone had 2,400.
Oh, wow.
was the biggest.
Carl's saying that our corral alone had
Corral
2,400.
Carl.
Yeah, corral keeper Carl. But so we started running, and the weird thing is, so you guys, we go out and you take a right hand turn, and then you go up a bridge ramp. And ours was like one of those like people getting stampeded at a concert, almost like it like just
Is a bottleneck.
punched up. People are jumping over barriers and stuff.
That led to a dead end, jumping back over the barriers. And then it was just, we walked the whole way.
Yeah, you couldn't
way
run.
up.
You were in like a bottleneck.
It wasn't even a fast walk. It was just walking.
Yeah.
So that was about a tenth of a mile in. That wasn't even. It wasn't even like a quarter mile.
I guess they were doing construction,
Yeah.
so it was like, that's not typical.
That's what someone said, that it was different than normal. But like in the front, you guys probably were able to run up that ramp.
Yeah, it was tight, but everyone was running.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then once you got up on the bridge, which I was like, this kind of feels like a climb in the beginning here. And it could have just been, like we were just getting used to running, and it
No, it was
was
a
a
climb.
million degrees.
No, it was a climb because when we come back on the other bridge, you could see it. I was like, that's legit. Yeah.
Well, and then also on the back end of the bridge, I feel like I was flying down that.
Yeah.
Which felt like a nice downhill.
I mean, that was a problem I was having. Like we were going like I like kind of like locking into a pace, and this one was more like run, stop, run, sprint, run, stop, go faster. Like it was like getting and trying to stay together with 4 people. It started getting.
Well,
Yeah.
and the other thing is that the road was still open on the
Oh,
left,
yeah.
on the left side, which I get if it's a small town race. Like maybe there's a lane, but it was cars going fast down the left hand lane
And the other weird thing was there was cop cars parked
in the course.
in the course, so you had to like pick a side of the cop car you wanted to go around. And so we're trying to stay together as a 4, and I'm trying to watch Robbie. Robbie's going to go to the left, going to go to the right. So it wasn't like that relaxing lock in
Yeah.
kind of
cruise.
feeling. However, looking off to our right hand side, and we have video of this, there was all the cruise ships.
Yeah, it was really pretty.
And they made the saying they turned lights on in the rooms to it was like Run Miami and
What? I didn't see that.
yeah. So
How did I not see that?
there were giant basically signs with the lights of the rooms on.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Do you remember when we saw the Virgin boat and it said something on the side?
No, I remember the boat, but I didn't
Okay, yeah. When we were in the cruise the day before, they'd written
Oh, wow.
something on the side, but these just said Run Miami and
Okay.
had different giant. So imagine giant cruise ships with lit up office buildings with the signs. So that was pretty cool. Carl was all over the place. Carl would I'd be like, oh, we lost Carl, and then you see him all of a sudden sprint by us, go 25 feet in front of us.
Well, he took a bathroom break.
But he was doing that before the bathroom break.
Oh,
Yeah, he was like Turbo. I'd see him, Carl, we're back here. Oh, okay. But yeah, so we were going. So I was getting a little nervous because with the guy's pace being 2:08, I'm like, are we going out too fast? Are we going? Yeah, it was just crazy.
Well, I'm looking at the splits though, and the first mile was a 10:41.
That's because we're walking.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's hard to that's just hard to come back from in a half marathon.
It
Because that's
is,
a
but-
minute and a half.
Yeah, but you figure
Extra.
we were walking up that bridge, so then we dialed it down to an 8 pace to get back.
So we actually didn't. Well, maybe for a time, but looking at the splits, it's not even.
No, not the splits. I'm saying to get to 10:41, we were walking, which would probably have been
Oh, you're
a
saying-
Like an
20-minute
18-minute
mile.
mile, yeah. I see
what
So
you're
then
saying.
we ran and sprinted up, and then like the pace was all over the place.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, because I was like,
That first mile, yeah.
yeah. And even when we got on the next one, but I kept thinking to myself, if it was 50 degrees, this course would be really pretty.
Yeah. No, it's a nice, flat, and fast race. If it was,
It was, yeah, I
For the most
agree.
part.
Where were you when the sun came up?
Like coming over the bridge on the way back. Like if you see the photo that Justin got of me, it's like darker than the ones of you guys because the sun's just coming up.
I mean, at least we did pretty much have cloud cover for almost the whole race.
Yeah.
We were so fortunate.
Yeah.
The dew point was, what did you say, Megan?
69.
69, and it was humid.
I didn't realize how much we weren't ready for that, or at least I wasn't ready for that. Even if you hydrate and, you know, do everything right, it's just, it takes so much out of you. And in the first few miles, I was like, the goal that I had set with my coach was like start out at like 6:30, 6:40s, and then pick it up from there. And he's like, but if you can't just maintain that. So in my mind, I was maintaining that pace the whole time. But in my splits, it's just like a very gradual decline by 5 to 10 seconds per mile the whole time.
I think that's the worst, when you feel like you're holding a pace and you're actually getting slower.
It felt like more of a progression run, and it was the opposite of a progression run.
Yeah. So when we're going out, I know that I'm not good in the heat. So I was making sure I was stopping at every water station. And I don't normally do Gatorade on the course at all. Maybe towards the last, like if I'm running a marathon, maybe the last 6 miles, I'll start taking in like some Gatorade and
Yeah.
stuff. I was doing it from almost the start here, and I
Yeah.
was dumping waters on my back. Were you dumping water?
Oh, if it's a warm out, I'll dump water on my head every station.
Yeah, I did the same.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like Carl.
It's the only way to, especially if it's humid, because the only
Yeah.
way to cool off is to do that.
And
Like,
Carl
literally.
was doing his thing where Carl and I've in the beginning were getting water, and then I don't think you guys were stopping in the beginning.
I did just the first one.
Okay, 'cause-
every other one I did.
Carl would then like catch up to you guys, and I was like, I'm not gonna sprint up. I'm just gonna slowly catch up. And so I would catch up with you guys, and then I felt like, I don't know why, but I felt like I was stopping at them where you guys weren't. So I just could see you, like I was watching you guys I could see the back of Robbie's singlet, but I'm just like, I'm not sprinting up there. Meanwhile, Carl, I think the kid could have run. You could probably ran with Megan that day. He's like just sprinting back and forth, and he would be nice and hang out with me. He dusted a guy for blowing on him.
Crop dust, Carl.
I wasn't gonna say what he blew, but I didn't. I was like, "Whoa, Carl!" He's like, "Yeah, that guy blew a snot rocket, and it got a little on me, so I gave him something back."
Dude, he deserved it. Can't be, if you're spitting, you got to look to see there's people around you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know when it was, but right before that one bridge, like I think it wasn't there like a double bridge? Like we went over one bridge and then another bridge.
Yeah.
One of them was a drawbridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last one.
Okay, so this is
Where
the
you
last
saw
one.
Justin.
So I start to see. I see Robbie and them are like, I'm not gonna catch. I'm just gonna chill. And then right in front of me, a lady in a handcart. So I've seen, like, if you see like the Chicago guy, he's got like a really low to the ground one with like a wheel
Yeah.
way out front. This one looks more like the seating of a normal wheelchair, and it had these little wheels in the front, like regular wheels, not like little ones you'd see on the bottom of a couch or something, like the spinny ones. But so this lady's going, and I see her do like an endo, where the front, like in the grate,
yeah.
where the
Oh no.
where the bridge goes, her front wheel went into the grate and she toppled over, and she's belted into it. So her face hit the grate, and immediately she's laying on her side, and she's crying and stuff. And it's like,
She's just laying, obviously she's laying there.
yeah, it's a lot of blood. So I'm going to go help her up. And there's I want to say 5 to 6 of us who are surrounding her, trying to keep people from running over her or anything. So we're all there, and we're about to lift her up, and somebody's like, "Don't lift her up. You don't know, she could be hurt." And I'm kind of like, probably okay. But like, so finally we get I don't know if she gave permission. Somebody's like, "Get her up." We lift her up, and it's heavy because like a person in a big steel trap, and we get her up, and there's so much blood coming out of her head, and the medical tent is probably a quarter mile to a half mile back.
So she definitely needs stitches, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. She needed what she needed was in like one of them, like the medical carts, because like I don't know, wasn't like a wheelchair that had like a way that you could push her.
Yeah.
So she I don't know if like you can't do the hand cart and be bleeding as much as she was. It was going in her eye because.
Well, so hopefully the medical came to her.
That's what we're doing. So people were calling medical and everything like that. And once she was up and there was like 5 other people taking her, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go now. So I left, and then I saw Justin, and I talked to him for a little bit. And at that point, I was like, I'm not gonna see Robbie and Carl again. I'm just gonna do some video. So
Yeah.
I got some of the video from the race course, and
which, by the way, those bridges that you're talking about, if anyone's run Chicago Marathon, you know what kind of bridges we're talking about.
They put the carpet over them there, though.
Yeah, although some of them.
Yeah.
There were some that didn't, which is weird.
that was they needed something over those.
Yeah.
'Cause, like
You could go on the bike lanes, but like
they
if
were
you're just
metal sheets.
But the bike lanes are way off to the sides, and not everyone can run in the bike lane. It's just
And how slippery. Like I felt like the grip on the Cielo X1 2.0 was
it's
really
actually,
good.
Actually, really good because in the water stops and everything.
But
it's
on
fine.
that stuff, I found myself slipping.
Well, just on that stuff in general, it's like, yeah, the Cielo X1 is not the shoe you want to be running in on when there's gaps and you have to slow your pace down. Like,
There was a couple that came to our shakeout run that had warned me about that exact situation. They said, be really careful on the bridges because especially when people have run over them, there's sweat, there's water. It's like they just become slippery. And it's like you can't maintain your pace and run over those at the same time.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like when she's on the wheelchair, like is it possible that like because of the slipping, like her
Well, no, it
wheels
sounds
weren't-
like a wheel is just going to go through
Yeah,
that
but I'm saying
grate.
maybe she's leaning forward to try to get traction or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like
I don't know.
that part was a little rough. But I will tell you that after you get off that bridge, you're about mile 11.
Yep, that is mile 11.
I don't know about you guys. That last 2.1, well, it turned out to be like closer to 2.5 according to my watch. But that last bit, how long did that feel for you?
Well,
The last 800 felt like forever, but the nice thing about that mile 11 was that was the Hoka cheer zone, and that was packed with people. And I was honestly, after mile 9, I was like, okay, it's only 2 miles to get to there, and that was like my excitement to push through those couple miles. But then after that, there was a few other fun cheer zones like On and CLA, but then it kind of went into a dead zone.
I don't remember the CLA one.
yeah.
It was on a turn.
The crowd support was, after that was good. There was nobody on the course prior to that.
Yeah.
Literally like
Maybe a little bit down the bottom of South Beach.
maybe a little bit.
I'm wondering if the crowds come out when the sun comes up.
Oh, you saw one guy that was in a wig, being a judge. Like,
That was weird.
Yeah.
It was like a very vocal Trump supporter who apparently woke up at 4 a.m. to come out in a judge's robe and a parliamentary wig.
Wow.
And wave a flag around and yell at people as they're running by. I was like, dude,
I didn't see
I don't
the-
believe in anything in my life ever this much. There's no way.
And the funny thing is, I didn't see the Trump flag. I just heard him say to a woman, "I find you attractive."
No, wait,
and I'm
really?
guilty of that.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, he's
Oh
like,
my gosh.
I'm guilty of finding you attractive.
What?
And so I thought he was just heckling people with like that kind of stuff because I didn't see the Trump flag.
Oh my God.
Trump flag is massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like one of those that you put on the back of a pickup truck. But yeah, he was.
He sounds like he'd be friends with Rick Sykes.
Oh, yeah, I think it was Rick Sykes actually.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Boy, you just like Rick Sykes had this much fame.
I know.
Now we
Yeah.
just
His Instagram following's going up.
But anyway, so yeah, that last I was running with Fabio, who we were trying to get to under 2 hours, and honestly, Chicago wasn't my finest moment, but I did feel like the pacing was pretty good. Like, if I look at the splits, it was pretty even. And then we tried to pick it up mile 10 because I was like, we're gonna have to like, if you
Work.
went under 2 hours, we do have to like go for it a little bit. And then he was starting to like feel it, so I was like, all right, let's just like drop it a little bit and see, how we can get back to it. And he hung in there, and I I was like getting water from at the stations. I was like, you just keep going. I'll just bring it to you. And then that last 800, which I didn't know where the finish
turns.
line was. And you
Yeah.
know how you can't, you know how you don't know what the distance for real is
Right.
on your watch.
Yeah.
So, and I couldn't find like any mile
I never saw
markers.
mile 13.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Okay.
That was one recommendation I would make to the Miami Marathon is they made the palm tree real big on the signs
And the letter.
and the number of what
Yeah.
mile you were on very small.
Okay,
I would
yeah. I
flip
didn't s-
that, put a giant number, and put the palm tree maybe a little smaller.
I swear I didn't see a single one of those. But then again, I didn't see Run Miami on the side of a freaking cruise ship. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it shouldn't be shocking.
It is surprising to me like how good you can feel for how long, and then just not.
Yeah. If
Like-
you run out of fuel, if you overheat, like it's just
He did a good job fueling. He was fueling every half hour and drinking water and stuff. I'm not sure if he was dumping water on his head.
I thought that maybe my heart rate was skyrocketing. So I looked at my average heart rate afterwards. It was actually in pretty good shape.
that's what mine said too, which I'm wondering if it's accurate.
Well, I wore the
You wore the
armband.
Oh.
So I'm pretty sure it was as bad as accurate as it's going to get. But I was just like, what? Like I'm trying to think, okay, I know I don't do well in the heat. But if my heart was at like 159 for the average for the race, I mean, I did stop for a couple of minutes with the lady, but that they even say it was 165, which would be in like I know we weren't racing, but that would be normal
Yeah, that's pretty average.
effort. I was like, what is it about the heat that's killing me?
You're just not used to it.
Yeah.
It's hard to breathe. Everything's harder. You're sweating.
You don't sweat as much as like Robbie. We've talked about like
Yeah.
dehydration and stuff and like sweat tests. I was drenched by mile 3. Like my singlet was just stuck to me, and you looked pretty fresh.
Yeah, I don't sweat a lot. I guess I just lose salt. But
That's weird.
I actually, and then I know it was like a slower pace, you know, it was like long run pace for me, but I felt totally fine the whole time. Like it wasn't,
Let's see.
I felt like the easiest long run ever done in my life.
really.
Yeah.
Oh, I was hot.
I don't know why, because usually I don't do great, but it's just,
I also think you were focused on helping
Yeah.
someone else, so that always helps too.
It does. Like when I was running with Aubrey in Germany, I felt like relaxed the entire. I mean, I was ready to be done by the end of the 26.2 miles, but it wasn't like I need to be
Your
done.
brain's focused on something else other than the discomfort that you're in. But
So-
so where did you guys end up?
so he was at exactly 2 hours and 1 minute on the dot.
I just want to say I was at the finish line tracking you guys, and Carl came across the line in 2 hours and 0 seconds.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Like,
dang,
exactly.
nailed it.
Ooh, all right. I was gonna try and get a video when I crossed the finish line, but I was so sweaty that I couldn't even open the phone. Yeah. I came in at 2 hours on the dot. That's the official time. What'd you guys do?
That's a legendary move. We did 201.
201.
So pretty good day, bro.
Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, it's hot out there. I hate it.
He hates the heat. We know that.
So yeah, we were exactly 1 minute behind, which was still a 7-minute PR for him.
That's
And
amazing.
So that was nice. And
On that day, yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, I honestly feel like if we wouldn't have had that 11-minute mile in the first mile,
Sure. You would
Yeah,
have
if
gone
you
under.
kept
probably
the-
could have come pretty
Yeah,
close.
definitely.
Yeah.
Also, if it had been 50 degrees.
Well, that too.
You would have had a 15
But
minute PR.
he is from there, so
He-
I
yeah.
think he has a little bit of an advantage in that way. But I mean, he was happy, and
Final check-in. So you signed up. Now you got to train. Sorry about that, but yeah, you want to be in good shape and running well the day it comes. So pop on the drop, go for your long run, enjoy the rest of the show.
you know, like I know it's like watch distance. Technically,
Right.
watch distance was under 2 hours,
Yeah.
but you know,
Count
doesn't
it.
count.
You know what my favorite thing was though was Carl. At last couple times that we've raced with Carl, he's always angry at the end, and this time he was not.
Wasn't angry in New York.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he wasn't angry in New York, but no, he was. It was good times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have a giant Finnish festival, because of course they do. It's Miami, where we all met up and got some beverages. And the guys realized that the metals spin
Well, I think everybody realized it.
and thought that everyone needed to have their metals spun.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first time I did, I just walked up to a random person and did it and didn't even say anything. Just creeped them out. So if they're walking past, you're just like, got to spin that. And so we were like a couple beers in and we're like, let's just start doing this. And then Thomas got really into it.
Yeah. Stopping people from like 10 feet away, telling them to come over.
The look of confusion.
Okay, so it was really funny for a long time, but then all of a sudden we realized the marathoners were coming in and they were so out of it and so confused that I don't think it landed as well.
Well, you know, one other thing we didn't talk about in the results, though,
What's
before
that?
we get there. Megan got second place female.
Yes, non-elite.
Yeah. And then
I just knew she was going to say that. Not trying to say, oh, hold up. But just, anyways.
with probably one of my slowest half times in a really long time. But
I mean, the pro won the marathon with a 3:03.
yeah, the elite women's finisher of the marathon was over 3 hours.
Like, I really think you need to add 15 to 20 minutes on everybody's time to make it like an equalizer for the heat.
The elite women's?
Yeah.
yeah,
Those three-
marathoner. Yeah.
Okay. But so the half marathon is like where the elites were?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
even that wasn't like a crushing time.
Nell Rojas won with a 113, 114, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good. But
One. Yeah. But getting back to the medal spinning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many medals do you think we spun?
I mean, I recorded at least like 10.
It had to be close to 50.
Yeah.
15 or 20?
50.
50?
It was a lot.
We were having a good time with it. What I liked about it was somebody would get confused, and then you're in their personal space, so they'd almost get like, whoa. And then they'd be like excited and happy.
Well, because we'd all cheer simultaneously.
And then we'd like high five and
yeah.
we'd be like, nice race.
Can you imagine doing that by yourself without us as a group?
Yeah, you need a group.
Yeah, you do.
I thought it was pretty
What
cool.
was the number one question that we got asked at the finish line?
Where's the free beer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody. So they did this weird thing where you got a free beer, but you had to walk past the concession stands go around the corner, then go into a like protected security area to get your free beer, and you couldn't leave that area with your beer once you got in there, where most people were hanging out by the concessions and the stage and the Hoka truck.
Yeah.
So it was kind of set up a little weird. So everybody would come and they're looking to get their beer, and they walked towards where we were because that's where you could see beer signs. And then they're told, no, you can't use your ticket here.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it didn't hurt that everyone had beers in their hand and were having a good time, and it seemed like people in the know, if you know what I mean.
And what time of day was this when we were all
Oh my
standing
gosh!
there with our
I think we had our first drink at 9 a.m.
Yeah. It was an early race. It's
Yeah.
an early finish.
I was done by 7:30, and I was like, what? Like, this is insane.
So, but they had a nice after party. The band, really nice, really
Yeah,
good
it was
band.
fun.
Wait, was that a band or a DJ?
It was a
It
band.
was a full band. Yeah.
There's a guy up there singing and dancing.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So
Didn't
that was
notice
cool.
that.
Yep. And the vibes are very good there.
Yeah.
I will say that. Like, I feel like we complained a little bit about the race, but the vibes are great. And lastly, well, for me, the shoe is awesome.
I loved
Yeah.
it.
Like, I know whatever, we went there and did stuff with Hoka, but like if we didn't like a shoe, we just wouldn't talk about it. It was awesome.
So the big thing is a lot of people are curious, like, if you compare it to the first one, which we felt like it was a little too heavy to be a race day shoe.
Yeah.
I think the upper on that one would have been a little rough in that humidity.
I saw them out there though.
Yeah. What do you think was so improved about it that you enjoyed on this race?
I mean, yeah, it's an ounce lighter. It feels a little, if I remember, maybe a little softer, but still has a bounce, you know? The rocker is just like still super aggressive, maybe even more aggressive.
I think it's
that
more.
Spring, yeah.
And so the only thing is like I ran somewhat slower pace in the shoe, and I feel like it was fine, but I'm like, I wanted to go fast. Like, it makes you feel like you just want to go.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Carl was sprinting back and forth between like water stations, see me, going to you, coming like all around. And I know he enjoyed the feel of the shoe. He's like, it almost feels better when you're going faster.
Oh, yeah.
And Meg ran it, like I wasn't doing fast paces here, but we've done the speed workout in it. I think it is now, it's a race day shoe. Definitely something that we would put in our top.
Yeah.
Would you say top 5? Like, are we going to put it on the website?
Yeah.
I mean, definitely.
I've
I was
heard
thinking
top
almost top 3.
Ooh, what would be your top 3?
I think obviously Alpha Fly is still a favorite of mine. Adios Pro 4 and then this one.
All right.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. It's like the thing is like you don't want to walk around in it or anything.
No, it's not good for spectating, Justin.
Yeah, walking in it after the race was not good, but I did love the fact that it could go fast and could go pedestrian speeds. And I think that's partially the plate, the way the plate is kind of not as like, I think it's a little more supportive on the sides. You can see like the little parts that poke out. But I thought it was, my feet were never never in pain. And even afterwards, it wasn't great standing around because it's not stable.
Yeah.
But felt good.
Yeah. I felt like my running it slower, my legs are doing a lot more of muscles. Muscles are working that usually aren't.
Yeah.
Like it was, my legs actually felt great the next day, so it wasn't a big deal. But I felt like there is some instability unless you're actually cruising at a faster pace.
Well, I think also activating that front rocker,
Yeah.
the toe spring, like being up on your toes is rewarded in that shoe.
No, but it's great. It's definitely an improvement on the last one, which I said that was the most fun shoe I've ever run in, which was true.
And I think it's an improvement over the Rocket X2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because we talked about the difference between the two and which one I would choose. And now having done the half marathon in the shoe, I would choose the Cielo X1.
So like in the podcast when we were talking to on the boat, you're saying now.
Yeah.
Okay. I definitely think like before the last one, I was like the shoe you need to race in is a Rocket X2. Now I'm like, this would be my
this would be my
choice.
pick for sure.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, before we start talking about the end of Grit, thank you to the Hoka team and everyone who came out and Gooder and
And one other thing, that burger that we got at the place after the race. What was the name of that place where they were watching the
Canvas?
the two Milan soccer temes?
Canvas room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a smash burger where they throw a fried egg on top with the bacon.
can't go wrong.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yes, that was cool. And then we had kind of hung out and then did a Hoka after party thing.
It was good times.
And that was pretty much it.
Yeah. All right. So getting back from Miami, getting back to the cold remind you of the Grit.
Yeah. Yep. So wrapping up Winter Grit, we need to give a shout out to our leaders who, I mean, ridiculous. The leader for most of the time was a woman, Mara Murphy Cousins from Massachusetts. Dude, she did almost 700 miles,
Bonkers.
697.
MMC.
Yeah. And then Michael Mbagu, fellow Baltimorean.
Yep.
He ran 571 miles.
He didn't he come in like third place at the Baltimore Marathon and basically used the summer grit to start his training.
He's ridiculous.
It's the way to do it.
Yeah.
And then Christina Shelderup. Sorry if we messed up your name. By the way, Michael Mbagu is 47 years old. Christina Shelderup, she was 520 miles. And I'll give another shout out to Leela Galdralt. She did 501 miles. So there's 4 people who finished over 500 miles.
You guys are champs.
So 3 out of the 4 were women.
Yeah.
Crushing it.
How'd the teams do?
So team results, I haven't tallied like that. The slower bastards who ripping off our faster bastard's name. Who started that group? Was that
I
Lynn?
think it's Lynn. Yeah.
Yeah. They did 9,400 miles almost.
Nice.
And then Adventures for the Cure, Catonsville crew, they did almost 9,000 miles. And then Faster Bastards were third in 7,400 miles. But as on but I also like doing per member team. I haven't tallied that yet because we were away. But I think Adventures for the Cure were probably first in that. I think Faster Bastards were second. Per mileage,
like how many
mileage per team
people,
member. Yeah.
And then we'll have to do elevation too.
Yeah.
Yeah, elevation. It's weird because running sign up, you can't get the elevation totals. You can't sift through those.
It's not an easy.
But I think it was Adam Driscoll from Catonsville.
Makes sense.
He was in the lead before. He finished with 79,000 feet of elevation.
Crazy.
Which it's funny because that's actually pretty low for some of the past grits. Like some of the past ones have been
When we did the Everest challenge and all that, those people went nuts.
Yeah, he was in that group that did like 90 something thousand, and then I think, and then the one year somebody did like 110 or 120,000. Was it last group?
I think so.
Did you see Ober did the Gun Road challenge again?
Oh, I knew that was happening. I didn't see it.
Yeah, the turnout was pretty insane.
Really?
Like, it looked like there was like at least 30, 40 people that decided they wanted to run up and down that hill a bunch of times.
No, thank you.
Gun Road's a very notorious steep hill around here that a bunch of people, oh, wow. Oh, that was a lot of people that showed up to do that.
Yeah, how many does that look like to you? Like,
yeah, probably like at least 30.
Yeah.
35.
Before we close this out, should we chat real fast about this New Balance shoe?
Yeah, it's been out for a while.
But we just got it.
Yeah. The 880. So I would say this is your entry trainer from New Balance.
Yeah, this is the V15. So it's been around for a little while. I put it on last week for a quick, easy run. And despite looking like the 1080, it does not feel like the 1080.
And for you, that would be probably a negative. For Robbie, that might be a positive.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's kind of like use case, right? So this one, to me, is a little bit firmer. Maybe feels a little bit more structured. Maybe that's just to do with the firmness of the foam.
Is the stack height similar?
The stack is 40-34.
Jeez, everything's 40 now.
Yeah. So I think it is pretty similar. And obviously looks very similar. But yeah, this one is $140. Yeah, like you said, it's kind of like your entry drug, if you will.
I say you get this, and then you're like, I need something softer to like try the 1080.
Yeah.
Then they're like, you know what? You like the 1080? Let's move you into the SC trainer. Oh, you like a plate in there? Let's go.
Yeah.
SC Elite, full ride.
Yeah. And next thing you know, you got an N on everything.
Yeah, so I think if
shooting it up.
If you just wanted like a easy daily trainer that's slightly firmer than some of the other options, I mean, this is your guy.
Yeah,
You haven't put it on yet?
No.
Yeah. We just got him last week, and then we went to Miami.
I wonder, I would be curious if Robbie likes this over the 1080.
You prefer a firmer ride?
Yeah, I'll probably like the 880 more.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I will let you know.
Yeah, so we obviously have to put more miles on it, and we have, I think, more people from our team are also testing it out, so the full review and all that jazz will be up soon.
Lots of jazz.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And anything else we have to comment on? I don't think so.
No.
Did anybody win any races? Because we forgot to mention like a big deal. Who was the
Chipotle thing?
Well, not just the Chipotle. We forgot.
You
during
mean Houston?
We forgot to
Connor Mance
Yeah.
breaking American records. You know. People know about it.
Yeah, people know about it.
Yeah.
The Chipotle thing, Jamil Curry.
Wait, the New Balance had their track meet. Speaking of New
Yeah,
Balance,
the Grand Prix.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff happened there.
Yeah, well,
I don't even
our
know
local
what's going on
a
with
local
that
guy, Quincy
Wilson.
He broke the American record for the 400 for a high schooler.
Yeah,
Cool.
I saw the reel of him doing the 800, and I was like, dude, was it the 800?
I thought it was the 400 that he did really well.
Okay, maybe you're right.
We're City Smag when we need them.
Maybe it was the 400.
Yeah.
But wait, is the track in New Balance a 200?
Yeah.
200.
It's 200. Yeah, so it was a 400. I kept thinking it was a 400. Yeah.
I know that was a weird thing when I first went there. I was like, people doing a lot of laps here to get a mile
that was very
done.
fast for 800. But I saw the reel for that and I was like, dude, like he won by a good amount too.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing we do. Like that kind of running is not the same thing that the rest of us are
No,
doing.
that requires a lot more talent.
It's not even, I'm saying it's a different sport.
Yeah.
Like it has as much in common with marathon running as like the high jump.
I mean, that's crazy. He lowered his own high school record. I mean, yeah, he's going to be one of the best ever, maybe.
It'll be exciting to watch like the next couple of years with him.
Definitely. All
Noah
right.
Lyles raced. Meg, you're a big Noah Lyles fan now, aren't you?
Yeah. I'll keep those words to myself.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in as always. If you're still here, we are shocked.
Well, people got long runs coming up. You're training for Boston and you're training for London. So
You're baking cookies in the morning.
yeah.
Shout out. Yeah,
Michelle.
Yeah, she said that she bakes cookies while listening to the drop. I'm like, that must be why they taste so good.
Meg doesn't listen to the drop, but she bakes stuff.
Yeah.
What do you listen to when you're baking?
Music.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All right. Hi, Ma.
Give a good stretch, got my laces tied. My trusty podcast by my side. If you wanna tuck run, it's the place to be. Yeah, it's the drop. DROP.